Let's move on to this. So Margot Robbie,
Heard of
who
her.
of course is an Oscar level actress. She's been nominated for Oscars. She's a phenomenal performer and, like, simply male or female, one of the most attractive movie stars in the world. I've met her in person. She's like, there are people who are like so good looking, like, and she's one of them, where like you meet them and suddenly your bones feel hollow. I don't know how to express it other than like what she's stunning, right? Well, of course, she came on the scene where she really burst on the scene for the pop culture consciousness was in Wolf of Wall Street. By the way, she had worked with Aaron Cummings before. Remember that? It's her and Aaron Cummings.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron has had dinner with her and her mom and everything. Anyway, so there was that Wolf of Wall Street. That's where really she kind of burst on the scene with everybody. And in that, there was this very gratuitous, well, not gratuitous really, but this really explicit full frontal nudity scene in it, where in a recent interview, Margot Robbie has revealed that Martin Scorsese was like, no, you can just come out in a robe. And it was Margot Robbie said, nah, she's got to come out nude. I got to come out naked in this. This is from an article in Variety saying Margot Robbie says Wolf of Wall Street full frontal nudity was her idea. She turned down Scorsese when he said you can be wearing a robe. Now, this is really interesting. It says this, Scorsese said, this is Margot Robbie talking, maybe you can be wearing a robe if you're not comfortable, but that's not what she would do in that scene. Robbie said of her character in making the choice herself to go full frontal. The whole point is that she's going to come out completely naked. That's the card she's playing right now, she says. Now, if you guys remember the scene in Wolf of Wall Street, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio standing there and and he looks up and she's standing there in the doorway, like full naked, all that kind of stuff. Now, she goes on to talk about, and I'll tell you why this is interesting to me. She goes on to talk about in the interview about how for that character, her physical attributes, her seduction, all that kind of stuff, she says that was her only currency. That was, or she said in that quote, that's her card to play. That's how she could control the situation. So that's what she did. Now, the reason I find this story interesting is because it brings up a topic of conversation that we have a lot around here, which is not, the topic is not naked Margot Robbie. The topic is what constitutes gratuitous, right? You'll hear people talk about gratuitous violence, gratuitous sex, gratuitous nudity. What constitutes gratuitousness and when is it not? And I've always said this, like, I love filthy, right? Clearly, bring on the filthy. I love filthy in my movies. I really do. But I don't like it when it's gratuitous. By gratuitous, I usually see it and I interpret it as doesn't really need to be there, but you just throw it in just to have it there. Like, I love great violence in a movie, but I don't like gratuitous violence. Like, I like violence when it's there serving the story and it's trying to do something. It's trying to communicate something to the audience. It's trying to make the audience feel a certain way given the circumstances the characters are in. And then I love it. I think it's great, but I don't like a scene when it's just, oh, we're just going to have this scene where this guy rips off this guy's head. Why? No reason, just to do it. That's gratuitous. I feel the same way about nudity and sex scenes. When you can have a really great graphic sex scene, but that graphic sex scene really communicates the heat, the passion, the obsession, whatever that certain characters have, when it's used right, I consider it artful and I consider it great and I love it in movies. But when it's just there for no reason, then it's like, why is this here? It just kind of makes it feel off. And I think that is illustrated perfectly by what Margot Robbie was talking about here. Like, I don't think Margot Robbie, who was in her early 20s at the time, is thinking, hey, I got a banging body. I just want to show it off. Give me any excuse I can have just to be nude. Like, I don't think that's her mindset. But her mindset was as an actress. And she says to Scorsese, to her, this is the card she has to play. This is her currency right now. And so to Margot Robbie, she says to Scorsese, what this character would do is not walk out in a robe. what my character would do right now, given her mindset and where she is, she would come out banging naked, right? To make Leo drool. That's what the character would do. So to me, this is a great example of the difference between something like, say, a gratuitous scene. Want a good example of gratuitous, although I'll always be grateful to it? What was that Hugh Jackman movie where he was the hacker?
Oh, yeah,
and Halle Berry was in it?
Oh, my gosh.
Is fish in the title? Something Fisher or King of Fish? Swordfish. Swordfish. Right? Great example of a gratuitous thing. He comes out to talk to Halle Berry, and Halle Berry's holding up a sunscreen and then drops the sunscreen. And she's sitting there with her tits out. Like, don't get me wrong. All men across the planet were very happy about that scene, but it was by definition gratuitous. It didn't need to be there. It didn't serve anything in the story. But what Margot Robbie did was completely a part of the story. And again, that's just something I thought was really interesting when I saw Margot Robbie talk about that, because it really highlights something the way I always think about it. And again, I don't think just think it's true for nudity or sex scenes. By the way, that's one of the hottest shots ever. It's not just true of nudity or sex scenes. I think it's true of like violence and stuff like that too. If it's used the right way, I don't think it's gratuitous at all. And sometimes I get turned off by it when it's used gratuitously, except for the swordfish situation. I'll let that one go. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Public Rec. Guys, we all know finding pants that both look good and feel good has always been a major challenge. Public Rec's Daymaker pants are here to make sure you stay comfy and classy this season. I absolutely love that they feel like your favorite sweats, but they look like tailored pants. They're super stretchy with an elastic waistband, so you can wear them anywhere. The first thing I noticed when I put these pants on was they go on and feel just like my most comfortable pair of sweats, yet they look so good. Another great thing about these pants is, when you order comfortable pants, you only get to pick from like small, medium, or large and extra large sizes, but with Daymaker pants, you get to select the exact width and length that you need. Public Rec not only has the most comfortable pants made, but they have a huge selection of high quality everyday basics, like this beautiful hoodie I was wearing on the show the other day. So stop suffering in regular pants and give the gift of comfort this holiday season. For a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off when you use the code Campea at checkout. That's 20% off with the code Campea at publicrec.com. And listen, after you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the John Campea Show and tell them that we sent you. Say goodbye to pants that put up a fight, because when comfort meets style, you've found Public Rec. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about that? About Margot Robbie saying, hell no, my character would have done this, so I want to do the scene nude. What do you think about my definition about the difference between gratuitous and non-gratuitous? Do you think it matters? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.